I really like pen and paper. Obviously, it's not at hand.
No,
But I definitely like it so much more.
there's always something about that visual feeling of actually writing
And then it's
scratching.
scratching,
Yeah, there's something about it. What is good, Wishers? I'm your host, Morgan Ashley, and this is Indie Tuesdays, a show where we get to come across up-and-coming indie artists, and I get to chat it up with them while y'all get to learn a little bit more about them. So if you are new, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. Here with me today, I have an artist who is a singer, producer, composer, a recording engineer, a painter of sound. Please welcome Jorge Cajias.
Thank you, Morgan. So nice being here.
Excited for you to be here. Thank you for taking the time out of your crazy schedule. I want to get into it as you have such a great background of where you started and where you are now. I've learned that you were born in Caracas, Venezuela, and then later on became a graduate of Berklee College School of Music. And that is such a great start and beginning to now. So did you know you wanted to go to that prestigious school, or how did that come about?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just, I was always just obsessed with making things, which turned into me being obsessed with making music. You know, like it was just like when I found it, it was just like the thing I couldn't stop doing. And it was like my life just revolved from very early about, around just making more things, making more songs, making albums, making things. So by the time it was that I graduated high school, it was just a natural.
It's like, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to go.
It was just like a natural evolution of me thinking like, I have to do music.
Right.
And then like I discovered Berklee existed, which turns out it's like a really popular contemporary music.
Yeah, it's
place. And I was like, I guess I'll go to that place. I have nothing else that I want to do. I have nothing else that I know how to do. So I went there.
I love
and it wasn't direct. It was like I had some missteps as I was telling you earlier today. And I didn't get in at first and whatever. I tried again and eventually I made it.
I love that that's a point that's being made. Even though you tried the first time and didn't succeed, you were able to get back up and try again. And you got in the second try. So people get so easily discouraged. And I feel that should be something that should encourage y'all out there. If you are trying for something prestigious as that, because it is a great school, don't be discouraged. Be encouraged and keep trying, because that's such a great motivation.
Yeah, and I feel like we are all, even more like in the artistic world, like we're constantly discouraged by this person is better. Oh, I didn't get into that thing. I didn't. And I feel like I've been discouraged so much in my life that I did not depend on being encouraged. And I was encouraged by, my parents and whatever, but it's like the most encouraged that I found is through me, through believing in the thing that I do. And
you've got to give credit to yourself.
Exactly.
I love that you're able to create music within that season of your life, but you've also built friendships and relationships, and within that you've been building your brand in music. I came across and I learned that after graduating, you also were able to collaborate with a Latin Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter, and with that you created a song titled Que Dulce.
Yeah.
I had a chance to listen to that. It was beautiful. Now, I don't understand complete Spanish, but from just hearing the musical aspect of it, that was a beautiful song. Then later on, I did a little bit of loosely Google Translate, and that was even more powerful, just to get out of it what I got out of it. Your depiction of life in its moment, beautiful.
Thank you. This is Claudia Prieto that you were mentioning. That was my very first song that I put out in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And she helped me a lot with releasing it, with making the music video. I actually made an English version of that song, which maybe one day I'll put it out so that way you can actually literally enjoy it.
I was like, I look forward to that too. I mean, but the original is beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're opening ears for those who are still learning new music and new sound, so I appreciate you for that. And I know that you've already, alongside of creating the single, you also put out 2 projects. Mm-hmm. How did creating those come about?
So So I released 2 studio albums. The first one is called Al Ojo por Ciento, and the second one is called Vuelta al Día en 80 Mundos. They have very lengthy titles in Spanish. They to me, like I mentioned earlier, like since I was like probably 14 or 15, I started being like, I want to make an album because my favorite artists make album and nobody told me I shouldn't make albums. So I was like, I'm gonna make an album. They were kind of crappy at the beginning, but my way to exist in the world and inhabit it is by making albums. So nowadays I'm still making albums. So they've just been like evolutions of me being in the world, experiencing things and turning everything that I see and that I, you know, every single deep emotion and scene that I stumble upon, I turn into a song. And then when I have a lot of songs, I turn into an album that have like a cohesive sort of little universe within them. And then,
we get to experience a life through your eyes and
basically
through your musical world.
Basically. But I do think like, I am a fan of like being very specific and personal and how that connects to it being relatable in any kind of sense. It's not generic, it's very specific and it's very, pinned down. But also I feel like that's why we connect in the end, because it really touches a nerve.
It's a platonic play on human feelings, human experience. And you've been able to do this as a solo artist because you produce your music mainly by yourself, but you've also along the way started to produce and create with bandmates. And I believe this is how your newest project came about.
Yeah. So I've spent a lot of time just being by myself with my computer and, a couple of collaborations with people, but mainly just making music by myself in my room. But when it comes to the point of like, okay, how do I perform it live? That's when it gets a little trickier because my way to do it is just like, sort of hyper real. Is like, I don't care about how it's performed in the real world. I just do it. But then, so recently, we started like having more gigs and trying to perform these songs live. And I assembled a band of some of my dearest friends, including my friend Claudia Medina, who is a saxophonist, percussionist, maverick, and so recently it sounded so great and it sounded so different from the things that I had done before that I thought like, oh, maybe we should make like this little live in the studio album, which is the newest thing that I did. It's called Viito y Coleando, and it's a compilation of songs that I've released before, but redone and re-performed and repurposed to like bring them new life.
It's more, more brought to life in a different aspect.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was really proud of how they came out. In some ways, I like the more.
I was going to say, is there a different experience that you didn't realize you're going to experience with this different performance, or?
Yeah,
wow, I've never read the song before like this.
Yeah, I would say that kind of like applies to all of them, There was one version of my song Cafeína that we did like literally like with acoustic instruments only. And it was like we recorded it with like 2 mics. So like no editing to be done. It was just like and it was like, damn, that sounds like as great as ever. And we did it because we rehearsed it and I've sang it many times. So it was like without, the use of any like technological, any complexity, we got to make like a great version, which is us. So that was pretty magical.
Will we get to experience that in live performances in the near future within this year?
That basically is the sound of me playing live right now. So that's exactly how I will keep performing this year. And yeah, so maybe we'll do like some, depending on the context, so we might do like some acoustic performances. For instance, like Claudia, the saxophonist and percussionist, and I just had a performance last week, and we just did like guitar and percussion.
I was just about to ask you about that. Were you able to apply that to your latest performance? And you just answered that. So thank you. No, that's cool. That's cool. No, that's fine. I love that.
But yeah, so that's a cool thing that whenever, the format affects how the music comes out.
Okay.
If you only have 2 instruments, how does that feel? And whatever. So that's a cool thing. And I think that's how I want my music to be, like interchangeable to the context.
Okay.
I don't want it to be like this version forever. I really enjoy like artists like
You want it to form as it's supposed to form
yeah,
in the time it's supposed to.
and no matter if I play these songs like in 20 years,
Right.
I want them to adapt to how I am and then
Because as artists, we continue to grow. We're never the same in the beginning. It's always a beautiful thing about being an artist is that there's a continuous growth in music.
Exactly.
And the fact that your music gets to grow with you is just a great gift in itself.
Yeah, and instead of like trying to capture it and leave it like that, I want it I want it to grow, and I want what I make to reflect the growth.
I love that. I want to ask a little bit more about your future upcoming events, if so. But I want to take a quick break. I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors real quick. Just like how you guys are passionate about music, we know how passionate our partner, PSS Home Care, is in caring for your loved ones. PSS Home Care makes sure that your loved ones receive every single bit of comfort they deserve, right in the comfort of their own home. PSS Home Care offers a set of excellent services ranging from healthcare aid to physical therapy to housekeeping and many more. So, if you are from the New York area and are looking for someone to care for your loved ones, make sure to contact PSS Home Care by clicking on the link in our description. Don't forget, PSS Home Care, because caring is their culture.
Bring every memory, we'll share another story to the place where I wanna be, the special brew class, you and me. Morning or night, whenever I'm here I feel so fine, sitting here gazing at you with a cup of coffee, make it two. Every sip gives me delight, stirring up such joy inside. For it's not beautiful if it's not true. It's not the kind of warm if it's not with you. It's not my coffee if it's not me.
Getting back to the situation at hand, my Indie Tuesday Artist of the Day, Jorge Cajias. I love that there's so much life in your projects, and I know that I want to continue following your musical journey, and I know there are those out there that would love to hear your past projects and your now so they can grow with you and your music.
Yeah.
What is the best social media to follow you on so people can keep up to date on your future events and future music upcomings?
So my last name is Cajias, Cajias, and my Instagram and TikTok and all the things is Cajias Music. And I'm Jorge Cajias. And yeah, I make a lot of stuff, related to either songwriting or production or any crazy. I'm always about like crazy experimental, ways to create music. So that's how I like to run it, and it's very fun.
So just to make sure, Cajias Music is what is the best social media for people to follow you on. I know I will be hitting that follow very soon, but I am looking forward to your future performance coming up, in a few days actually. So before we go, I have like a few more questions. They're just quick, rapid answers, yes or no. There's no wrong answer. It's like if you were to pick a color, red or blue, which one?
Blue.
Nice. Me too. Me too. I love blue.
Easy.
For writing, pen and paper or notepad on the phone?
I really like pen or paper. Obviously, it's not at hand.
No,
but I definitely like it so much more.
there's always something about that visual feeling of actually writing
And then
scratching.
scratch it,
Yeah, there's something about it. And then one last thing would be popcorn or fudge brownie.
Fudge brownie.
Yes. Oh, love it. I love that. Let's go. Yeah, it's very easy questions. There's no wrong answer, but they are correct to me.
Yeah.
Again, I am your host, Morgan Ashley, and I am so happy that I got to hang out with Jorge Cajias as my Indie Tuesday Artist of the Day. I will see y'all next Tuesday. Until then, wishers, keep on wishing.